Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. If you're into manhwa, this is exactly the kind of content you'll find here. From hidden gems to the biggest hits, I'll be covering series that are actually worth your time without wasting it. Alright, let's get into today's video. Finding a really good manhwa has become harder than ever. Every week, dozens of new series are released, but only a few are actually worth your time. So today, I've picked 8 manhwa that stand out for different reasons and are impossible to stop reading once you start. Let's jump right into the list. Number 8, star-embracing Swordmaster. If you're a fan of underdog stories, this is a great place to start. This manhwa follows a protagonist who isn't born with overwhelming power or unbelievable talent. Instead, what makes him interesting is his determination and willingness to improve no matter how difficult the journey becomes. The artwork is beautiful, especially during sword fights, and the pacing does a great job of making every achievement feel earned rather than handed to the main character. If you enjoy fantasy worlds, knights, and steady character growth, this series is definitely worth checking out. Number 7, raising villains the right way. Instead of defeating villains, imagine having to raise them. That's exactly what makes this series so different. The story focuses on changing the future before it falls apart, creating an interesting balance between comedy, character development, and emotional moments. Watching relationships slowly develop is one of the biggest reasons readers keep coming back every week. If you're looking for something fresh that doesn't feel like every other action manhwa, this is a great recommendation. Number 6, I Killed an Academy Player. What if the only way to save the world was to kill his future hero? That's the premise of this manhwa. A man wakes up inside his favorite game, knowing every disaster that's about to happen. To prevent the worst ending, he makes a shocking choice. He kills the Academy's strongest player before the story even begins. But that one decision throws the entire timeline into chaos. Powerful enemies appear earlier, unexpected secrets are revealed, and the future becomes completely unpredictable. Now he must rely on his intelligence, combat skills, and quick decisions to survive while protecting the world from a fate that's constantly changing. If you love Academy stories, smart protagonists, and non-stop action, I Killed an Academy Player is definitely worth reading. Number 5, Pick Me Up, Infinite Gacha. Imagine being the #1 player in the hardest gacha game ever made, then suddenly waking up inside that same game. That's exactly what happens in Pick Me Up, Infinite Gacha. The main character, Han, gets trapped inside the game not as the player, but as a low-rank hero. And here's the scary part. If a hero dies, they're gone forever. Now his fate depends on a beginner player controlling the game from the outside. One bad decision, one wrong move, and his teammates can die permanently. So Han has no choice but to lead his team, train weak heroes into powerful fighters, and somehow survive each floor, even though every new stage is harder than the last. But the more they climb, the more he realizes there's something much bigger going on. This isn't just a game anymore, and the truth behind the tower is far more dangerous than anyone expected. What makes this manhwa so good is the tension. Every battle actually feels important. The strategy is smart, and you genuinely get attached to the characters because anyone can die. If you're into survival games, action, and a badass main character who actually uses his brain, Pick Me Up is definitely worth checking out. Number 4, The Greatest Estate Developer. What would you do if you woke up inside a novel as the lazy noble who's doomed to lose everything? That's exactly what happens in The Greatest Estate Developer. The story follows Kim Suho, a civil engineering student who suddenly wakes up inside a novel as Lloyd Frontera, a lazy noble who's supposed to lose everything and die broke. But instead of becoming an overpowered swordsman, he does something no one expects. He starts using engineering to make money. He builds roads, bridges, dams, and all kinds of crazy projects to save his family's estate. And somehow, every ridiculous idea actually works. But let's be honest, the biggest reason people love this manhwa isn't the engineering. It's Lloyd himself. This guy is absolutely unhinged. He'll scam villains, trick nobles, make the weirdest facial expressions you've ever seen, and somehow turn every serious situation into pure comedy. Even the side characters constantly question whether he's a genius or completely insane. And the relationship between Lloyd and Javier is comedy gold. Watching Javier slowly accept Lloyd's chaotic personality is hilarious, and their interactions never get old. Even with all the jokes, the story still delivers great action, emotional moments, and satisfying character growth. So if you want a manhwa that will genuinely make you laugh out loud while still having a great story, I highly recommend reading The Greatest Estate Developer. Number 3, Return of the Blossoming Blade. Imagine sacrificing your life to save your sect, only to wake up 100 years later and find out it's become a complete disaster. That's exactly what happens to Chung Myung, the legendary swordsman of Mount Hua. After dying in an epic battle, he reincarnates into the body of a young beggar. But the biggest shock isn't that he's alive again. It's that the once famous Mount Hua sect has fallen so low that nobody takes it seriously anymore. Instead of giving up, Chung Myung decides to rebuild the sect from the ground up. And trust me, he doesn't do it the normal way. He's arrogant, loud, completely unfiltered, and if words don't work, his fists usually do. What really makes this manhwa stand out is the balance between action and comedy. One moment you're watching intense sword fights, and the next you're laughing because Chung Myung is roasting his own disciples or humiliating his enemies without even trying. As Manhwa slowly starts reclaiming its former glory, stronger enemies begin to appear, old rivalries return, and every victory feels earned. If you're looking for a manhwa with amazing action, hilarious comedy, incredible character growth, and one of the most entertaining protagonists you'll ever read, Return of the Blossoming Blade is definitely one you shouldn't miss. Number 2, The Extras Academy Survival Guide. This series became popular for a very clear reason. At first glance, it looks like just another academy-based fantasy story. But very quickly, you realize it's not about becoming the strongest hero, and it's not about saving the world in the traditional way. The main character has a much simpler goal: survival. And that one decision changes everything. Instead of rushing into fights or chasing power like everyone else, he carefully observes the world around him. He studies people, future events, and dangerous situations that most characters don't even notice. Because in this world, knowledge is just as important as strength. What makes the story stand out is how realistic the consequences feel. Every choice the main character makes actually matters. A small mistake can completely change his future, and even the lives of people around him. There are no safe decisions here. The world itself feels alive. Side characters are not just background decoration. They have their own goals, their own personalities, and their own impact on the story. Some become allies, others become threats, and some change depending on how the MC interacts with them. As the story progresses, you start to realize that survival is not just about avoiding death. It's about understanding how the world works better than anyone else. And that's where the tension really comes in. Because even when the main character thinks he is making the safest decision, the story always finds a way to push him into bigger and more dangerous situations. Nothing stays simple for long. If you enjoy intelligent protagonists, slow burn strategy, and a world where everything feels connected and meaningful, this is exactly the type of manhwa you shouldn't ignore. Number 1, SSS-CLASS Revival Hunter. The world has ended more times than anyone can count. For Gongja Kim, death isn't the end. It's just another restart. In a brutal system filled with dungeons, towers, and overpowered hunters, Gongja has one completely broken ability. Whenever he dies, he can copy the skill of whoever killed him. At first, it sounds like a cheat code, but there's a catch. He has to die over and over again to get stronger, and so begins his twisted climb to the top. What makes SSS-CLASS Revival Hunter so addictive is how insane his growth really is. Gongja doesn't train like normal heroes. He doesn't level up safely. He throws himself into impossible situations, gets killed in the worst ways imaginable, and comes back each time stronger, smarter, and more dangerous than before. But power comes with a price. The more he rises, the more the world notices him. Gods, monsters, and other top-tier hunters start paying attention, and every step forward feels like he's walking on a knife's edge. It's one of those rare manhwa that manages to balance action, emotion, and suspense without losing momentum. If you only read one series from today's list, make it this one. That wraps up today's list. If you've already read some of these, let me know which one is your favorite. And if you think I missed a manhwa that deserves a spot in the next video, leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.